what is the expectation of the big data is algorithms must be unambiguous. Checking the comments, likes in the social media, the data that are distributed over different systems. The online shopping sites can suggest the materials and organizational culture, organizational structure and job roles start from tissues, blood, bone density, everything. Hello students, welcome to the next session of Cloud Computing and Big Data Analytics. I am Dr. Soumyashri from Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram College. Let's start with this session with some more concepts of the Big Data Framework. What does the Big Data Framework will consist of? Continuing with the last session, in this session, I'm going to explain about some of the concepts in framework. The first thing we are going to, continuing with the last concept, we are having some more concepts of the big data framework. In that, the first thing is the big data algorithms. As we know, everything must be a program. You are not going to write the program directly to the implementation of the big data. Instead, you are going to write the algorithm which will help the developers to execute a program. Algorithm is the basis for any concept in information technology or in digital devices. In the same way, big data also has several algorithms. The fundamental capability of working with big data or data is to have the understanding of the statistics and the algorithms, what we are using in the big data or database which stores the big data. We need to have a clear knowledge of the statistics, that is, which is the big data, which is not a big data, capacity of differentiating the data from the big data. And the algorithms. How does the algorithm is going to bifurcate the data and the big data? Along with that, what does the big data professionals will do is, they need to have a strong background in the knowledge of statistics as well as algorithm development. Not only algorithm development, they need to have the statistical knowledge of how to transform the data into a big data, or how to divide them, how to categorize them into different forms of categories of big data. Like that, they need to have, the professionals need to have the knowledge about the algorithm as well as the statistical concept to get the insight of the big data, how actually the big data is going to work. Along with that, what is the expectation of the big data is algorithms must be unambiguous. Unambiguous is nothing but clear, without any confusion. Ambiguous is confusion. Unambiguous, without any confusion. You need to have a clear insight of the algorithms that you are using in a big data. You have to have the unambiguous or clear specification of how to solve a class of problems, dividing the big data. Along with that, you have the algorithms to analyze them. In analysis algorithms, we have to know how to solve a particular problem, that is processing of the data. If you have heterogeneous forms of data, how you are going to deal with them. You need to have that knowledge along with the algorithmic knowledge. Apart from that, as we know, the algorithm can perform calculations, processing of the data, as well automated reasoning task, like giving a reasoning or generating a reasoning for the data that have been stored in the database of the big data server or cloud server. By using the big data algorithms, which can be applied to large volumes of data having higher values, the valuable knowledge and insight of how the data can be divided, how the data can be managed, everything will be known to the professional who are experts or professionals in a big data dealing, or how to deal or how to process the big data. Along with big data algorithms, other elements of the framework focus on the capabilities of everybody else who are working with the big data and who wants to work with the big data, who are already working and who wants to work with the data. Along with the capability of the algorithm, we have to check the professionalism and expertise that a person has obtained in dealing with a big data and processing it. It aims to build a solid foundation. What does the solid foundation will do is, it includes the statistical operations and provides the introduction to different classes of algorithms. Why do we use different classes of algorithm will be another concept that comes under the concept or the framework known as big data algorithms. Everything we need to do is, we have to get into the algorithm, we have to be clear with what does the algorithms are doing, and we must become expert in dealing with those big data algorithms. This is about one of the infrastructure in framework. Another thing is the big data processes. So what does the process has? Along with algorithm, process are there. Process are continuous operations, isn't it, in a system. In order to make a big data concept successful in an organization, it is necessary to consider more than just the skills and technology. What you need to consider for the skills and the technology? The big data algorithm suggests is, you need to have the skill and knowledge of technology to implement a big data algorithm. What does the framework, the big data process in a framework tells is, it needs, along with skill and technology, it needs processes that can help the enterprise. Why they help the enterprise is to focus on their policies, to focus on their strategies, and the organizational goal in dealing the big data will be handled by different processes. It may be background process or foreground executing process. Process will bring a structure, measurable steps, and can be handled or controlled on a day-to-day basis. The process will start as soon as you start executing the big data algorithms. As soon as the big data algorithm is executing, the process will be running. Once you close the big data application, the background process and the foreground process that are running in a big data will be stopped. Along with that, the processes embed the big data expertise within the organization, who are well known or who are familiar with the concepts of the big data will be teamed or grouped together to have a better big data utilization by following the similar procedures and steps, embedding it as a practice in the organization. What does it suggest is, you need to have a person who is expertise in the big data and he has to deal with all the big data that is coming or generating in the organization. You need to have the process embed with big data expertise so that the person can handle big data as well as the normal process. Both can be handled by a single person because he'll know about the big data execution, how does the algorithm is working, as well as he will be aware of the running processes in the system, which makes big data and big data algorithm and process execute efficiently for a better result. So analysis of process becomes less dependent on individuals. It does not depend on the individuals, and they are enhancing the chances of capturing values in the long term. We know about the 4 V's of the big data, isn't it? Along with volume, you need to know about the value of the data that you are storing. You cannot just store a volume of data which is of junk and is of no use. So you cannot have the data which is of no use. Therefore, along with volume, you need to capture the value of the stored data for a long-term application. The next thing we need to know in framework is the big data functions. What does the big data functions contain? Okay. The big data functions are concerned with the organizational aspects. It contains the organizational aspects of managing the big data. Every organization can have a big data. You need to have the functions which relate to big data and can operate those big data with the algorithms. The big data function addresses how does organization can structure themselves or transform themselves to set up the big data application and discuss the roles and responsibilities a big data organization must handle. What are the responsibilities of an organization which is going to implement the big data? How they are going to store it, how they are going to protect the data from the attackers. All those things will make a role in executing the big data algorithm efficiently. So you need to have cooperative functions which will help in executing the big data efficiently. So you need to have an organizational culture, organizational structure and job roles that have an effect on the success of the big data. To make big data succeed, one thing is you need to have a proper infrastructure, you need to have the knowledge on algorithms, skills, technology, you need to have the processes, know about the process that runs in the big data along with the big data and the functions you are using to handle the big data. All these things will play a vital role in the big data framework. Along with this, the best practices in the setting up of organizational level big data will make the functions, that is big data functions, necessary for executing the algorithms. Okay. In the big data function section, we'll be having big data function section of the framework. The non-technical aspects of big data, which is not technical, like what are the security of the data? How do you going to store it? How you are using it? General, other than the technical issues related to big data. We'll be having the functions which deal with non-technical aspects of the big data. That is, how do you collect the big data? How do you categorize the big data? If you have got a particular information, how do you categorize it as it is getting into the category of big data or to the category of normal data? Who is going to decide? Which is not a technical concept, isn't it? Somebody who is having knowledge about the storing or capturing of the big data will be knowing which comes under the category of big data and which is not a kind of big data. So all these things must be known to the person who is handling these big data functions. Okay. Along with the knowledge about the non-technical aspects, the big data functions help in setting up a big data center of excellence, which provides a high quality service using the big data, maybe on a cloud or a remote server. But usually big data is always associated with the cloud computing or cloud form of storing the data. Next thing is, it also addresses, what it is going to address? The critical success factors, the main success factors for starting the big data concept in the organization. I'm going to implement the big data concept in the organization. These big data functions will help the organization to build and have a success story for the big data implementation. The next thing is to know about the artificial intelligence that we use. What is the role of artificial intelligence in the big data is, one of the major area of interest is the artificial intelligence. You know about it. It is a trending concept, isn't it? Artificially implementing the human-like activities, which comes under the artificial intelligence. In this part of the framework of the big data, we are going to discuss about the relationship between the big data and artificial intelligence, and it is combined with the characteristics or features of the artificial intelligence. Like many organizations are thinking of implementing an artificial intelligence project, but they don't know from where they have to start the artificial intelligence. In this task of implementing an artificial intelligence, we take the help of assistance of the big data framework. It takes a functional view of the artificial intelligence with intention of getting some more profit in the business. Okay, the AI follows a logical step for organizations that have built up the other capabilities of the big data framework. The artificial intelligence combines with other parts of the framework, big data framework, and they are going to handle these things. Okay. The last element is the AI. It is considered combined with the life cycle of the big data on particular applications. The artificial intelligence can start to continuously learn from the big data. You have to make the artificial learn from the big data in order to provide, so you can combine the application of AI with the big data. Some of the AI applications that you can combine with big data is in healthcare, where you can make the robots to work, or you will be having machines in a hospital which get the details of a person who is laying on the table on an MRI scan, isn't it? If you have viewed the MRI scanning machine, you can view that how big the machine is. So it is going to capture each and every detail of a human being, like start from tissues, blood, bone density, everything, and the inner side of the body. Everything will be scanned by the MRI, and it is going to store all those details in the form of a big data. Okay. Along with that, getting robotic assistance in making some scientific works, and in research field, you'll be having so many applications of AI, personal assistants, like we used to have the house built on a concept of artificial intelligence. Like when you open the door, the lights of the house will switch on. When you run, or when you want to play a music, if it is accepting your audio, based on audio, the music will be played. Based on the audio password, the host will going to open the door. All those things are certain concepts of artificial intelligence. The entire house is thinking as ourselves. If somebody calls me, hello, come here, I'm going to answer that. It is an intelligence that nature has given us. This is artificial intelligence. If Alexa is answering our queries, then it is an artificial intelligence. What does this artificial intelligence is doing is, it combines with the algorithms of the big data to store the big data. We know about analytical algorithms in the big data, isn't it? We have to analyze the data that is stored. How do you analyze and come to a conclusion is by getting the knowledge of the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence and big data as well as cloud computing, very trending technologies are interlinked together to make the success in the organization. All right. Next, we shall come to the concept of big data analytics. What does the big data analytics will do? What does that means? Analytics means, okay? The definition of the big data analytics says that it is the process of collecting. Analytics will collect, organize and analyze. It is going to collect, organize and process or analyze. Collect, organize and analyze the large volume of data and having larger value, higher value, larger volume along with higher value. You need to have both. Only volume is not of use, only value is also not of considered as the big data. The big data must combine the 4 V's, isn't it? So it has to have the collection, organization and analyzation of the large amount of data, which can help in uncovering hidden pattern, which may be invisible to the normal algorithms. If you apply normal algorithms, it will not get any specialized result for you, processed result. But if you include the analytical algorithms, big data analytical algorithm, you can uncover the hidden pattern, correlation, that is relationship between different formats of the data and other meaningful insights or meaningful processing of the data. Meaningful insights is which was unknown to us before that algorithm was executed, before that analytics concept was executed on the big data. We were unaware of all the hidden knowledge. So the big data analytics is going to extract the knowledge from the information. Information itself will not become knowledge. The application of the information that is stored will become the knowledge, isn't it? So the example is information. What information we have is, when you have to cross the road, you have to look on both the sides of the road. This is the information that we have. Knowledge is to know when you have to apply. When there is no one in the road, if you are crossing the road in the early morning at 4 o'clock, or if you are crossing the road at midnight 12, if you know that no vehicles is coming, so you can cross. Knowledge is knowing when to apply the information. Okay, the big data analytics will act as a knowledge which extract the unknown data from the collected information and are stored in a cloud in the form of a big data. Okay, it helps an organization. What is the necessity of big data analytics in an organization is to understand the information contained in their data warehouse and used to provide new opportunities to improve their business. They may not know that they can use these knowledge, like getting the mentality or behavior of the person based on what he's viewing in an internet or network world, internet world, based on what he's going to view, in what he's interested. We can draw the patterns. We can make the advertisement display the same products, isn't it? It was the emotions and viewing of the concepts, materials was present even before the big data, isn't it? But what was the advantage of having the big data analytics is it provides new opportunities to improve their business. So that today's online shopping sites can give advertisement in the social medias by watching what you like to purchase based on your behavior or history in your internet surfing. So based on what you are surfing in internet, the online shopping sites can suggest the materials, isn't it? Suggest the adding the products, similar products to you. It was there, but it was unknown and was hidden. The big data analytics algorithm have extracted those things from the stored data, all right, which leads to more efficient, operational, higher profiting and happier customers. So what you get is, it is a win-win situation where the entrepreneur will get new opportunities, he can grow the business. Along with that, it adds a point or adds a third dimension or adds a dimension to the satisfaction of the customers. Customers will be happier. If you are looking for a shoe, sports shoe, you have to search for all the shopping sites. What happens if all the shopping sites display the products for you without your knowledge? You don't know from where they did get the information, but they have all the online shopping sites have displayed, or the shopping site that you have visited has given you a list of products which you want to view. So you can sort it, you can view it, select it, you can do many things in the shopping sites, isn't it? It has not done by you for all the task. You have not collected the shoe information, isn't it? Who has made it for you? The big data analytical algorithm has made it possible that you get the view of all the shoes which are similar to your opinion or your view, what you have viewed. Similar products have been displayed for your assistance. So, you will be happier than the customer who doesn't use the analytical programming or who doesn't use the online. What we'll do is, if we go to a shop in the market, what they are going to do? Are they going to show all the products that are available with us? No, they are not going to do that. They will show some 4 or 5 items and say, we have only this much items. We can't have more choices. That too, you have to ask, I need this kind of product, the shoe must be like this, the color must be like this, design must be like this. You have to give all the specifications. Even then, you won't get the view of a product that is in your imagination. That is where the normal business lags behind when compared to the business which have taken the assistance of a big data and big data analytical algorithms, isn't it? So we have the big data analytics which are used to analyze a large volume of data. How does you are going to analyze the large volume of data in big data? The big data analytics applications or algorithms enable big data analyst. So it adds the employees or the expertise to analyze and conclusive experts who can come to a conclusion based on the result of the analytics. The big data will have a big data analyst to analyze the processed data, data scientists who can manipulate the data, predictive modelers, that means predicting what they want to watch. If I'm viewing a car or a vehicle or a shoe, the predictive modelers will predict that you may like this product. What you get option is you may like, you are liking. They don't say that you are liking. They are predicting that you may like these products. Statisticians getting the statistical amount, how the customers have responded to your query or your request or your process data that have provided to the customer, how they have been impressed, and other analytical performance, executing related analytical algorithms to analyze the growing volume of the structured data. We have the structured as well as unstructured data. The big data analytics must process not only the structured, it has to analyze even the unstructured form of data. So how does the big data analytics will work is, it is performed using the specialized software tools. You will have the tools for analyzing the data and applications. Applications are nothing but algorithms. Using these tools and applications, various data operations can be performed. You can perform various data operations like data mining. Mining is nothing but digging the unknown data from large chunk of data or large volume of data. The text mining, getting the hidden text from the data. Predictive analysis, analyzing. Forecasting, predicting, along with predicting, forecasting, assessing the contentment of the customer, whether he is contented or not with the purchased product. So he has to forecast. Forecasting is assuming the sales and the purchase of the products in a particular time period. All these things will be performed with the help of the big data analytics. All these process are performed separately. It is not a combined one. The algorithms are executed separately and are a part of the big data analytical algorithms. They will be having different functions, different algorithms which are interrelated and will give you the data, processed data, by using different concepts like data mining, text mining, predictive analysis, forecasting, all these things. Okay? Using the data analytical tools, along with the algorithm, you'll be having the analytical tools and software, which enables an organization to process the large amount of data. It has to process the large amount of data and provides a meaningful insight over the processed data to get a better business decision. Business is already running. To get better opportunities in the business, you need to use the big data analytics. All right. We have some of the key technologies that are used in the big data analytics, which are the supporting technologies that aid in the development of the big data analytics. Let's check one by one. The first key technology that we use is the Hadoop. Hadoop is a technology you may have heard of. The Hadoop is an open source framework, okay, that is used to store a large amount of data. Hadoop is the first and the foremost technology that was used to store the big data and run various applications on cluster of commodity hardware. Based on the group of hardware, the big data is stored and run. The various applications which store the big data and analyze it will be executed by the Hadoop. Okay, it has become a key technology to be used in big data. Why do you need Hadoop is because of the constant increase, which is increasing constantly in the variety and volume of data, two main V's, that is variety and volume, and is using the distributed computing model which provides faster access to data. What is distributed computing is the data that are distributed over different systems which are connected through the internet. You will be having number of systems which are connected through the network, and the data is distributed over these systems, which is called as the distributed computing. The distributed computing model provides the faster access to data which are higher in volume, having variety of data. It has variety as well as volume. To accommodate all these volume of data, we use the concept of distributed computing. Okay. Along with Hadoop, we have the concept of data mining. Okay. So the data mining is extracting data. Mining is nothing but extracting, isn't it? Gold mining. What we are extracting? We are extracting the gold. Iron, magnesium mining. What you are going to mine? You are going to extract the magnesium ore which was hidden inside. We didn't know before that. It was there, packed under the earth. So we are going to know about the things that are hidden, and we are going to extract those ores, isn't it? So that process is called mining. Here what we are mining is, we are mining the data. Okay. Once we store the data in the management system or data management system, you can use the data mining techniques or data mining algorithms to discover the hidden patterns which were unknown to us. To get a pattern, we use a number of data mining algorithms. If you are interested, you can get to the data mining concepts by someone who is already known with the data mining concepts. What is the data mining will discover is the hidden patterns which are used for further analysis. So analytical algorithms are applied on the data that are data mined, and it can help in answering the complex business decisions or business problems. It helps to solve the business problems. Along with data mining, all the repetitive and noisy data, when you remove the data from the data mining and point out only the relevant information, what does the mining is going to do is, it will extract the ore along with the soil, isn't it? Only ore cannot be extracted. We cannot extract only or mine only the gold. Along with gold, you will get the soil, isn't it? Soil, other fossil residues, everything will come along with the gold. What you are going to do is, you will process that gold to get the pure gold, which is of utmost value, isn't it? It is having highest value. So yeah, you are going to extract only the gold from all the residues that come along in the mining process, isn't it? So who is going to do that is the analytical process, help with along with the data mining algorithm. So data mining techniques not only extract the hidden pattern, it also removes the unwanted data and points out or denotes or represents only the relevant information that is being used to help the improvisation of business. All right. Along with the data mining, we have the text mining. What does the text mining will do is, we can analyze the text data. We will be having videos, audios, patterns, everything. So text mining will extract only the text data from the web, like comments, likes from social media, what product they have liked, and other text-based sources like email. So you are going to share an information with the friends. That shared information is not only reaching your friend, along with it is reaching the big data storage algorithms and analytical algorithms. Okay, the analyst is going to analyze what you have shared. Okay, the email, we can identify if the mail is spam or a legitimate email that we have received. So text mining uses the technologies like machine learning. It uses the technologies like knowing about the operations of the machine or natural language processing. These are the trending concepts. So the text mining uses the concepts like machine learning, how the machine is going to interact with the human, or natural language processing like moving of the sites. So everything will be a natural language processing. It is the natural language of a human, isn't it? Moving the iris, like if you get fear, you'll move the iris. If you weep, your eyes will get red. If you are in anxiety, your facial expression will change. So this is the natural language of any animal, isn't it? So processing that natural language with the help of a machine will make or assist in analyzing a large amount of data and discover the various patterns. So it is data mining or behavioral mining. Text is based on what you are commenting on a particular thing. How does the political parties know that? They'll make the survey during the election, isn't it? Whether the population or voters are supporting us or opposing us. How do they know us? Using the concepts of text mining, like checking the comments, likes in the social media or other text-based sources. If you are sending an email depicting your opinion on a political party, they are going to access your mail and check what is your opinion on the politics or ongoing election, whether you are supporting their party or their opposition party. All these things will help to analyze and discover various patterns. The voters of which area are supporting us, areas of which area are opposing us. What we can do is, those who are supporting us will kept as it is and will don't make so much attention on that. We pay more attention to the people of a particular area, which the pattern says that the most of the population in that particular area is against our party. So we'll concentrate on changing the mind of the people. Where did you get this information? Is through the text mining. In the next session, I'm going to tell you about some more concepts or key technologies in the big data framework or big data analytics. All right. Thank you.